Hi everyone. In today's class, we will see one of the important library, jQuery. Okay, guys, jQuery means it's a simply a JavaScript library. I hope you already know the meaning of library. Library means a collection of something where we'll have all the built-in things exist. All the built-in things, meaning that we are going to place some kind of predefined things going to make available and if you would like to make use of it we can able to reuse all those things meaning that with the help of this JavaScript library we can able to write less code we can able to write less code and we can do more work. Guys, see, in the previous classes we have seen the concept of JavaScript. So JavaScript meant for to perform or to interact with your developed web page. See, for example, if you take the concept of HTML, what is the purpose of HTML? Which is meant for to develop web pages, to develop web pages, meaning that with the help of HTML we are going to define the structure of an HTML document. What about the concept of CSS, which is meant for like designing of the web pages, meaning that which is meant for to design the look and feel of the web page. Simply, if we say, if you want to make more look and feel, we are going to use the concept of CSS, meaning that so to make more presentation friendly to the user, we'll go for the concept of CSS. What about this JavaScript? This JavaScript is meant for the behavior of the website, meaning that if you want to control the behavior, like for example, when I click on some button, what it has to do, what page it has to do, or what kind of things it has to do, all those behaviors we can able to do control with the help of this JavaScript, meaning that which is meant for to perform interaction with the developed web pages. Interaction with the developed web pages, we are going to use the concept of JavaScript. What about the concept of XML, which is meant for to transfer the data between inter-domain applications or same domain applications or different kind of applications. To transfer data between applications, we will use the concept of XML. We'll use the concept of XML. Yes. Now coming to this unit, jQuery. This jQuery is an important library which is efficiently used for we can able to perform all the tasks which we did in the JavaScript with the help of a less code. With the help of a less code. See, what are the tasks that we did over the JavaScript? All those things we can write with the help of jQuery because it is a library, meaning that whatever the code that we are going to write in JavaScript, the developers have simplified this JavaScript code and they have provided in the form of a library. We can simply reuse that and we can able to do more work within less time. Do more work within less time. That is the advantage of jQuery. Okay, fine. So what I'm simply saying this is with the help of this JavaScript, I can able to traverse the HTML DOM, right? I can able to traverse the HTML. I can able to perform various kind of event handling operations. I can able to perform various kind of animations, etc. These are all the things that we can do with the help of JavaScript. Similarly, with the help of jQuery, we can able to do all the operations as JavaScript. We can able to traverse the HTML document. We can able to perform various kind of event handling operations. We can able to perform animations etc. Both are similar. Both are similar. But the advantage is here, with the help of jQuery, we can simplify the process of performing, traversing the HTML document, performing the event handling, performing the animations, etc. Animations, etc. And as JavaScript is open source, this jQuery is also a free and open source. Free and open source. And one more thing is, it is cross browser support. Cross browser support. So what does it mean? What does it mean? Cross browser support means, for example, if you take a JavaScript code, this JavaScript code is going to execute in various kind of browsers. In various kind of browsers. Like for example, let me take Mozilla browser, Internet Explorer, Google Chrome, etc. JavaScript code is going to execute in all the various kind of platforms. If you are going to disable this JavaScript code, if you are going to disable the JavaScript code, obviously the code is not going to execute. This execution, this kind of thing I have shown in the while explaining the introduction of the JavaScript. Okay, fine. So generally, what is the purpose of Internet Explorer? Why they have implemented the Internet Explorer concept? Because to provide the security to the user, Internet Explorer is introduced. What about the Mozilla? Mozilla specifically meant for fastness. Fastness. Like that, every browser having its own kind of reason to invade that. Okay, fine. So what we are going to do, what as a developer, what we are doing, every browser is going to support JavaScript. So what we did is we are going to write our own JavaScript code. I'm going to write my own JavaScript code, and I will make it compatible with the every individual browser. Every individual browser. Instead of that, what we can do is we can make use of a jQuery library. We can make use of a jQuery library. This is a cross-browser platform, meaning that with the help of this jQuery library is supported by any browser. Library supported by any browser. I hope you understood what I am saying. Yeah. See, JavaScript sometimes may execute the same thing in Internet Explorer, but not in the Google Chrome. I hope you understood. While executing some JavaScript code in Internet Explorer, it is going to show at the bottom of the page, it is going to show that block the content, or allow the content, it is going to show the option. Allow the content, it is going to show the option, right? So Internet Explorer. Whereas coming to Google Chrome, it is going to directly execute. There is no problem at all. There is no problem. So maybe this JavaScript is going to make depend upon various kind of browsers. Whereas coming to jQuery, it will become a cross-browser support, meaning that it can be executed similar way in all the browsers. Okay, fine. And the another advantage of this one is, as we are having a less code, it is going to load fast. Pages will be load faster. And also it is the recommended one for to make SEO friendly, search engine optimization friendly. So while developing the concept of, or while explaining the concept of HTML, I have taken the concept of search engine optimization. Why we need to take the search engine optimization, all those things we can do with the help SEO friendly, mainly with the help of meta tag. Yeah. Okay, na guys? Yes. Fine. So this is all about the introduction of jQuery. So if I'm simply saying that, a jQuery or one of the JavaScript library. See, there are many libraries are there which are related to JavaScript. Among those, one of the libraries is jQuery. These are in our syllabus. That is why we are going to discuss here. Yes. Or I will write like one of JavaScript library instead of getting confused. Yeah. So with the help of this jQuery, we can able to perform all the operations what we did using the concept of JavaScript. Like as just now I explained, I'm going to write once again HTML DOM manipulation. So, so with the help of this concept, we are going to traverse the HTML document and we are going to modify wherever necessary. We are going to modify wherever necessary. We can able to perform CSS manipulations, like for example, to make change in the look and feel friendly, we can able to change that. We can able to perform various kind of event handling operations. For that, we'll have various kind of event methods are there in this jQuery, and we can able to perform various kind of animations, like we can call it as various kind of effects and animations. Those are all the things we can do with the help of JavaScript. And one more thing is we can able to simplify asynchronous JavaScript for the development. We can able to simplify with the help of this jQuery. So what all this, with the help of jQuery, we can able to simplify all these processes. Simplify all these process. Yes. Yeah. Fine. So what we did is up to now introduction of the jQuery and what we can do with the help of jQuery. Now we'll see how to write jQuery code. How to write jQuery code. Yeah, fine. Guys, if you observe, so what we are saying is we are going to perform various kind of DOM manipulations, CSS manipulations, various kind of event methods, various kind of effects and animations, various kind of AJAX for development. All these things we are going to do with the help of JavaScript as well as with the help of jQuery. With the help of jQuery, yes. Guys, in JavaScript, if you are going to write, a particular variable, what we are going to do, we are going to use the keyword called where, or we are going to use the keyword called let, depending upon requirement. Thus that requirement also I have explained clearly. Guys, can I write like where dollar equal to Krishna, is it a valid variable or not? So I have clearly explained various kind of rules for the variables also. Yes. So this is a valid variable in JavaScript. Yeah. And for example, there is a tag called h1 tag. Between the tag, there some data is there like Jay Krishna. I am going to close the h1. Yes, this is what we can do in JavaScript. Yes. And one more thing I would like to write. For example, in JavaScript, I would like to access an element. Like for example, I would like to access an element with respect to h1. Then what I am going to do? I am going to go through first. Uh, I am going to go through the document first. Then I am going to have a method called document dot get elements by tag name. I'm going to write h1 and I'm going to write blah 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 blah. Whatever things that we are going to write, like inner text, all text content, or some whatever it may be. I hope understood, right? Yes. If you are going to write like text content, we can able to modify this data. Like that, we can able to access an element. Meaning that in JavaScript, if you want to access an element, we can able to access an element with respect to tag name. For that, we have a get element by tag name. If you want to access with respect to class name, we can have a class. We have a method called get elements by class name. And we are going to access with respect to dot operator. I'm sorry. Okay, we can simply write the class name. If you want to access with respect to ID, we can able to access with respect to get element by ID. We are going to write simply ID. Or if you want to go for something like the concept of selectors, we can able to select that element. Or if you want to go for accessing an element with respect to attributes, guys, while explaining this concept, attributes concept I have explained clearly. I hope you remember that. Like for example, a of href, it is going to select all the anchor tags which is having an href attribute. Like that, I have clearly taken the examples how to access the elements with the help of JavaScript. Yes. Now comes to the concept of jQuery, where we are going to simplify. where we are going to simplify. Yes. Yes, whatever the things that we have here, whatever the methods or whatever the functions that we have here, all those we can able to simplify. We can able to simplify by with the help of a function called jQuery function. jQuery function, and we are going to write jQuery of code and dot operator followed by blah blah blah, whatever things that like, for example, text content, all those. I mean, jQuery of what code we are going to write? We are going to write various kind of selectors. We no need to write get element by tag name for IDs for elements, get element by class name for the class name. We don't need to write get element by ID for the ID, get element by something like that. We don't need to write the specific things for every kind of every way of accessing. We can simply directly use the function called jQuery function. Or in order to simplify this process itself also, they have simply used an alternative called dollar symbol followed by dot operator. Guys, you know, right? With the help of dot operator, I'm going to combine multiple functions. I'm going to make use of all these things. Selectors code. Selectors code. Yes. So don't get confused. For example, I'm going to take simple example. I'm going to take simple example. Like for example, mm, for example, I'm taking h1 h1 id equal to some j Krishna, closing of h1. Guys, in JavaScript, what we are going to do is we are going to write document dot get. I'm going to write clearly get element by id of j dot dot. We are going to write text content, or we are going to write inner HTML, or we are going to write inner text. So depending upon our requirement, similarly in JavaScript also, see, similarly in jQuery also we'll have various kind of actions are there, inner HTML or inner text. Like that we have various kind of things. For example, text content. If you write, you can get the answer as J Krishna. Jai Krishna. So depending. So like for example, if I want to access with element name, I'm going to write get element by elements by tag name. Like that we are going to write. Coming to jQuery, what I said is I can able to use a function called jQuery function to access that data, and in between we are going to pass whether it is an id. If it is an id, I'm going to prefix with hash symbol. If it is a class, I am going to prefix with dot symbol. If it is an element, I am going to simply, you need to make it in double quotation somewhere. If it is a element name, I'm going to simply place a element name followed by, we need to write various kind of actions. What kind of actions we can do? That depends upon our kind, any kind of action. For example, I want to hide it, I can go for an action called hide action. If you want to show something, I'm going to perform show action. So like whatever things that we are going to do, that same thing we can do here also, but it's having some generality, jQuery. Or guys, the same thing I can able to write with the help of dollar symbol, dollar of hash j, or dollar of dot j, or dollar of h1, like how, in how many ways, like not only this id class or tag name, we are going to use various kind of attributes, right? We are going to use various kind of attributes. All those things we can able to do with the help of this jQuery. Dot something hide, or dot show, or dot css. See, all these we call it as various kind of actions that we can see, we can observe in the coming session, in the coming classes. Yeah, fine. Meaning that what is the simple structure of this jQuery means, I can able to write jQuery function, or I can able to write dollar. But in our execution, I am always going to use the dollar symbol. See, I will show the jQuery also one example. Dollar of, I need to write selector, right? Selector. This is selector means what? Selector code, meaning that to select an element, I'm going to use what kind of thing. Here we will use get element by id, get element, all like that. Here we will use that specific representations. Sector code dot action dot action. This is the syntax of writing the jQuery code. That's of writing the jQuery code. Yeah, fine. Yes, guys. So if you observe here, uh, one thing, as this jQuery is a kind of library, so it contains various kind of already built-in components, right? Various kind of already built-in components. All those built-in components, we need to make it available. We need to make it available to our program. We need to make it available to our program, right? So, guys, for example, in Java, what we are going to do, if you would like to use the concept of, or if you would like to use the scanner class, I have to specifically mention, I have to specifically make this scanner class available to this Java program, by specifically mentioning as import java dot util dot scanner class, or I can go for import util dot java dot util dot star. Similarly, if I am going to use the concept of jQuery in order to simplify our task, in order to simplify our process, I need to make it the predefined libraries, to this written program, to this any written program, So that thing we can do in two ways. That thing we can do in two ways. One is in the form of installation process, or another one is in the form of CDN. Another one is CDN. Yes, guys. So if you would like to go for an installation process, so everything having its own drawbacks, its own advantages. So if you'd like to make it install, you need to go for the jQuery.com. There we will have an option called download option. From that, we are going to make it download the corresponding file. And we need to make it available to our HTML program. Okay, let me show that process. Okay, fine. Whereas coming to CDN, meaning that which we can call it as content delivery, network. Final. Okay, fine. So which one is better, sir? Which one is recommended? Means if you have internet, it is recommended for you to use the CDN. Okay, fine, sir. How we are going to write that? How we are going to do that? Yes. See, guys. So what will happen is first let me take the installation process so that you will get clear idea about the CDN also. Yeah. So, guys, first what we will do is we need to go for Google, or we can go for directly jQuery.com. Already, I think I have visited already. Yeah, jQuery.com. If you go for jQuery.com, we'll have a download jQuery option. Click on this. Here, we'll have an options. Like for jQuery with help of like all this. So you can use, if you want to install, you can install with help in different ways, with help of npm, or you can install, or with help of bower you can install. Like that, we'll have various kind of ways. Our requirement is I would like to make it for C. Guys, here. So there are two kind of versions are available while installing. Two kind of versions are available. One is for the product version, another is meant for the developer version. Yes, guys, while explain the concept of Java installation, I have taken these two terms clearly. Just if you can revise that, which one is the you need to implement? See, JDK and JRE. I hope you remember this. Which one is required for us? For us, JDK. For product based, we require JRE. We need to make it run. We need to provide an environment while working with the concept of products. We need to make JDK while implementing while implementing any kind of products. So For develop, we need to, so as we are a developers, we need to make it available the developer development modes. Like so I'm going to download the uncompressed development. Click on this. You will get a lot of code. You'll get a lot of code. Just what we did is, guys, I'm going to press simply Control A. I'm going to make it copy. Control C. I'm going to make it copy. After copying, so whichever the folder I would like to make it copy. So for example, I am going to go for WT programs, jQuery programs. In that jQuery folder is there. jQuery folder is there. Here I am going to take one notepad or some kind of editor. I am going to paste everything here. I'm going to paste everything and I'm going to save this. I'm going to save this. So observe, guys, where I'm going to save jQuery program in that jQuery folder. Here I'm going to save with jQuery jk dot js. jQuery jk dot js. I'm going to save this. Save this. So this is for already I'm checking purpose. I have installed them. Yes, that's it. So this way we are going to install the jQuery. This way we are going to install the jQuery. Yes. Okay now. So my jQuery installed file is available at which folder? jQuery folder. jQuery folder. Yes, guys, I have already taken one trial kind of HTML document. I will show that. Yeah, I have taken one trial kind of thing. Okay, fine. Observe, guys, here it is available jQuery jk.cs. Yes, whatever the code that you have copied from the internet, all those will be available here. See, observe how many lines of code is there. Some around 10,881 lines of code is there, which they have already predefinedly clearly defined, so that we can reuse this code to simplify our task. To simplify our task, that is the thing. That is why we call it as, it is a jQuery JavaScript library, which we simply call it as jQuery. Yeah, I'm going to close this installation file. Fine. And one more thing is we need to make it so if you would like to make it work with, if you would like to connect your file, your HTML file, with the help of this jQuery library, with the help of this jQuery library. Normally, guys, while working with JavaScript, which tag we are going to use? We are going to simply use the script tag. Here also we'll use the script tag, and we are going to define what type it is. Script type equal to text or JavaScript, and we are going to make it with source file. What is the source file? In which location the jQuery library is available? That source file you need to make it. So where it is available? So my trial file is this one. Here it is jQuery. In that jQuery jk.js. jQuery. So what you have to write? jQuery jQuery jk.js file. That's it. So it will be simply linked with that one. Yeah. So to simplify our process, what I am doing is I am going to copy that code. Script type equal to text or JavaScript. Source equal to jQuery slash jQuery jk.js. jQuery jk.js. Yes. Fine. Meaning that now our HTML file is linked with jQuery library, JavaScript library, so that I can able to use the dollar symbol, or I can able to use the jQuery function, or I can able to use the jQuery function. Yeah. For example, guys, try to make it understood. I'm going to write like console dot log of one minute. I'm going to I'm going to refresh, guys. I'm going to refresh. I'm going to go for more tools. I'm going to go for developer tools. Here I can write console dot log of dollar. Observe, guys, what happened? You got some kind of output. You got some kind of output, meaning that it has successfully connected with the JavaScript library. Successfully connected with the JavaScript library. Let me take a comment here. I'm going to refresh. Refresh is I have refreshed it. See, you will get some kind of nothing, some native code like this. If you get, it is not connected with the JavaScript library. This way you can able to understand. Yes, guys. Fine. Now what I'm going to do is, I have connected this one. I'm going to take one more script tag. Script type equal text or JavaScript. Here I'm going to write everything. For example, uh, console dot log off. I'm going to simply mention as dollar $. It is going to print a predefined. Yeah. On the console, it is printing something, right? Meaning that it is connected to a JavaScript library. Or I can go for writing as console dot log of jQuery. What is another one I said? jQuery. See, observe. Even though I refresh it is getting like this. Or else console dot log off jQuery function. Through jQuery function, we get the output. That is what I would like to convey. Refresh jQuery function. After that is printing, right? So, or else I will make it this also uncomment. Meaning that you can able to use the alternative one to $sign. $sign we can able to use. Yes, guys. Through $sign we got the same thing. Through jQuery function we got the same thing. Meaning that, guys, do you think that as we get same thing, do you think that they are same? Yes, of course. Both are same. If you want, I will show here. I will show simply like console dot log of dollar double equal to jQuery. What you will get? You will get the output as true. So meaning that both are same. Both will the same functionality. Both will the same functionality. Okay. Yes. So with this, I can say that both this 1 minute. Both this jQuery and dollar symbol both are same. Both are same. This is the way we can able to make it perform installation. We can able to perform installation. Yes, guys. One main problem with this installation is, so I will make it making as drawbacks. So you need to make a copy every time. You need to make a copy every time. As you are trying to make a copy every time for every kind of work, for every kind of project, it may be some kind of button, right? It may be some kind of button. Instead of that, we can go for a CDN process. Instead of that, we can go for a CDN process. What is this? I'm saying that it is a make of copy. What does that make a copy? I'm trying to make it to go to that thing, and we need to make it create one kind of file like this, and we need to make it linked with our file. We need to make link with our jQuery jk.js file. jk.js file. That is the problem. And one more thing is, for example, sometimes what will happen, guys? I will go to that editor only. I'm going to go for jQuery.js. Let me take something. I'm going to make global j. Some modified thing I did. Let me check further. What happened? Some kind of error you got. Am I right or not? Yes. See, I'm pressing F12. Obviously, you will get some kind of error. What is that error? On line number 8, you are getting error. On line number 9, you are getting error. On line number 36, you are getting error in jk.js file. What does it mean? Line number 36 it is showing, but actually it is in the line number 14. Now I am saying refresh. Now it is everything fine. Meaning that as the copy of the file is available our side our side, you can able to edit that, you can edit that. But because of that editing, our actual file our actual file may yield wrong results, even though our code is correct, meaning that it should not be actually editable. But as it is downloaded in our side, we can able to edit that, so it may not perform efficiently. It may not perform efficiently. To overcome this drawbacks, we are moving for CDN. CDN means content delivery network, which is like what will happen is so this CDN is mainly used by large companies, some like Google, Microsoft. All these companies are using this CDN. What they will do is they will have their own servers, right? They will have their own servers. All their servers are located at everywhere. India one server, US one server, and like England one server. Like that, we'll have different kind of servers are available for a single company. Why they are going to maintain different kind of servers? Because to maintain the redundant data. Redundant data means, for example, if India server is collapsed, they can able to get that same data from the US. Like that, they are going to make some redundancy server they are going to maintain. So with the help of the CDN, what will happen is they are going to have some kind of link. They are going to have some kind of link. So they will save the file. They will already have this file. For example, jQuery.js file is available in a server called Google server. What we'll do with the help of this simply just script tag, with the help of simply script tag, like script source equal to some blah 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 URL, blah blah URL. I'm going to close the script tag. That's it. That's it. So that we always try to connect to this server with the help of this link http colon double slash blah 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 this server, so that we can't able to make. So every time what we need to do, every time we need to make use of this link. That's it. We don't need to make a copy of this. And as this file is available in some other server, some external server, we can't able to edit this one. We can't able to edit this one. That is why it is always recommended to go for the CDN concept, content delivery network. Yes, guys. Now I will show how we are going to make that CDN. Yes. Here what I did, I made sorry. I need to go for jQuery.com. jQuery.com. Here we are going to go for download jQuery. One thing I have showed here just now is with the help of development jQuery 3.6.0, I can able to make it copy and I can able to make it as installation this process. And if you go for down, you can work with the CDN also. You can work with CDN. See, observe. What kind of CDN you require? Whether you require Google CDN, Microsoft CDN, CDN, JS CDN, JS Deliver CDN, like that. For example, I would like to go for Google CDN. Google CDN. They will have various kind of CDNs are there. Ma. For example, here you can observe. To load a hosted library, copy and paste the HTML snippet for that library in your web page. For instance, to load jQuery, embed the script tag. This one I need to embed. Simply I need to make it copy and I need to make it available to my web page. Available to my web page. I'm going to make it comment. I'm going to make it comment. Now what will happen is, even though I'm having some errors in the jQuery jk.js file, it will be connected. See, observe. What is the URL? https colon ajax.googleapis.com /ajax /library /jQuery /3.6.0 jQuery.min.js file. So it always connected to this file. Always connected to this file. So irrespective of whether we are going to modify in this folder, it won't bother about it. It is always trying to connect to this one. Yes. Now, if we make it copy, if we make it execute, refresh, you will get the same answer. See, observe. Through $, we got some output. Through jQuery function, we got same output, right? Both are yielding the same output. Both are yielding the same output. For example, I made this also comment. If I refresh, what will happen? Uncaught reference or error, dollar is not defined at try. Meaning the dollar is symbol which is specifically meant for what? Through jQuery. But jQuery, to work with the jQuery, what we require? We require any kind of any installation, or we require any kind of CDN. But here, both I made as comment. Both I made as comment. That is why it will get an error. So for example, I am going to make it uncomment as installation. If I refresh, now I will get once again the answers. Again, the answer. Yes, guys. So like this, we are going to uh, make JavaScript library to our make available the JavaScript library to our HTML file. HTML file. Yes. Once the installation is completed, now our next step is we can able to perform DOM traversing. We can able to perform. That is what I said, right? We can able to perform DOM manipulation, CSS manipulation, event methods, FX and animation, AJAX for development, all this. So to perform first DOM manipulation, to perform first DOM manipulation, first what you require, we need to access the every HTML element. So to perform any kind of DOM manipulations or to perform any kind of thing, first we need to access the data. First we need to access the data. Okay. So to perform accessing, I can able to access with respect to do with the help of uh, ID name, or I can able to do with help of class name, or I can able to do with help of element name, or I can able to do with help of various kind of combinators like selectors, or I can able to do with help of an attributes, right? We can able to do access with respect to all these kind of things. All these kind of things. Yes. Once again, I'm going to revise the syntax for writing the JavaScript jQuery. What is the syntax we require? We require jQuery of selector code in the double quotations dot action followed by something, anything, or we can go for dollar symbol of selector double quotations followed by action blah blah blah. So guys, just now I have shown these two are equal also. These two are equal also. So for time being, every time I would like to use the dollar symbol. I would like to use the dollar symbol for our explanation. Yes. Yes, guys. So first I will write a small piece of code here. Later I will directly explain the entire concept with the help of the execution directly. For example, I am having a HTML file, some jk.html file. HTML file. Here what I am going to write, I am having some data. Like for example, in body I am having some heading h1 I am going to write like id, I am going to write like some class, I am going to write some blah blah blah, closing of h1. So id is some k. Fine, I have written. Now if you would like to something like I would like to perform some kind of operation like something here, some kind of data. First, I need to what I need to do. I need to make it access this particular file. I need to make it access this particular file with respect to element name, with respect to ID, with respect to class name, or with respect to any other attribute also, or with respect to a kind of selectors concept. Right? Yes. So as I am trying to work with the concept of jQuery, what I need to do? First, I need to make it installation. I need to make it installation of which one? The JavaScript library that we can do with help of script tag. That we can do with help of this script tag. This script tag, or I can do with help of CDN. This script tag I did. Yes. Now, once I did installation, I need to write now scripting code. I need to write scripting code. That scripting code where we need to write, we always trying to write between the script tag only. Guys, while explaining the JavaScript, script tag in how many ways we can write? We can able to write in multiple locations. And multiple times. For example, I can able to write in the head section, or I can able to write in the body section. In body section, is there any particular location is there? No. We can able to write in anywhere. But while explaining the JavaScript, I always said that it is always recommended to write the script code at the before end of the body tag. Before end of the body tag. Am I right or not? Yes. Before end of the body tag. If I am not writing before the end of the body tag, will get some kind of problem. That problem I will show right now. Okay, fine. Yes. For example, I have written this in the head section script tag. Now, how we are going to access this particular element with respect to dollar of. So first I need to select that element. Dollar of. What is the element I need to select? For example, I'm going to select the element hash okay, dot some kind of action. Or I would like to access with respect to class name. Dollar of dot j perform some actions. Or I would like to access with respect to an element name. Dollar of h1 slash something. Like this, we can able to write everything. Okay, na guys? Yes. See, for example, I am writing dollar of. For example, I am going to access with respect to the element h1. Here I am saying that it's a kind of action. It's a kind of action. So blah blah blah. I mean blah blah means multiple things we can write. We call it as a chaining that we'll see in the furtherly. Here we can write various kind of actions. What those actions? Those actions can be any kind of jQuery methods, jQuery effects. That can be anything. Not only a single thing. That can be any kind of existing method. For example, I am going to use a method called hide method, or I can use a method called show method, or I can use a method called toggle method, or I can use a method called text method, or I can use a method called HTML method, or I can use a method called val method. Like this, we'll have various kind of actions are there. Depending upon our requirement, I will take everything clearly. Or I can go for CSS. Okay, for time being, just I will make an explanation like, for example, hide. What is the purpose of hide? Which is meant for to hide the element h1. Which is meant for to hide the element h1. To hide the element h1. Yes, guys. Here it is going to accept two parameters, and first parameter is meant for some purpose. Second parameter is meant for some purpose. All these things I will take in the event handling concept term. Okay, but for the time being, try to understood. Hide method is meant for to hide the data. Show method is meant for to show the data. Toggle method is meant for to toggle the data between the hide and sorry hide and show, like that. So text method, which is meant for, it is going to set the content, or which is going to return the content of select elements, return the content of, because without knowing all these I can't able to explain the further concept. That is why I'm taking generally. Yeah. So if I write like dollar of h1 dot text, what does it mean? It is going to return the content which we have written for the h1 element. What is the content that we have written for the h1 element? For example, if I write like J Krishna, it is going to return as output as J Krishna. If I write like something text of hello, now what it will do? It is going to it is going to modify the text of J Krishna as hello. Text of J Krishna as hello. Similarly, HTML method, which is meant for both are same purpose. Like guys, in JavaScript, what I did? Inner text, inner HTML. I have explained clearly the references. So to make it HTML code written, I'm going to use a method called HTML. So to make it plain text, we are going to use the method called text method. Val method, which is going to return the value of, which is going to return value of various kind of fields, or which is going to set the value of various kind of fields. For example, I'm going to use some kind of a text box where the name of the text box. If I am going to access this one, I'm going to access this one, and I'm going to call the val method. It is going to return the value which is entered by the user. If I make a pass some value here, JK, that is going to set to this field. CSS, which is meant for to apply styling effects to the selected element. Styling effects to the selected element. How we are going to select the elements? With the help of this kind of selectors. With the help of this kind of selectors. Yes. Fine. Okay, na guys. So this is all what the basic description about everything. Yes. So guys, what I will do is I will take a simple example right now and I will try to execute everything clearly for you. Yes, guys. What I will do is I'm going to make it remove everything. So I'm going to use the installation instead of CDN. You can make it use of anything. See, guys, the script tag I can able to use here, or I can able to use here by writing something blah blah blah, and I can able to once again use this one. You can use the script tag anywhere, right? That you know. But for the time being, I'm trying to use the script tag in the header section. Script tag in the header section. Yeah, fine. For example, let me take the multiple header tags h1, or else like I'm taking as header 1, h2, I'm taking as header 2, h3, I'm taking as header. I'm taking like id equal to j, id equal to j. So I'm going to take like class. So specific thing, everything having its own specific class as k. So header 3 I'm going to access with respect to element name. So I am specifically mentioning my header 3. Yes. I make it refresh. Header 1, header 2, header 3 gone. Yes. And I'm going to take mm, okay. For timing, it is enough. Yes. Fine. Now these all very defined. If you want to write something in JavaScript, what we are going to do? We are going to write like document dot get element by tag name. Get elements by tag name of h3. Tag name of h3. I am going to save it where hi or where data data equal to, and I am going to simply say that alert of data. It's not right. We can't able to get here. We need to get inner text alert of data. What happened, guys? Space is data. Sorry, I am sorry. Alert of data. Undefined. Nothing. You are not getting anything, right, guys? Why you are not getting anything? Get elements by tag name of h3 of g. 1 minute, guys. What happened here? Hmm, this is, I think, inner text text content. Again, we are getting undefined. Undefined means it is not getting any data. Get elements by tag name, or else I will just simply go for here. We'll go for F12. It's undefined, right? So, or else I will go for like this. HTML collection of things. So now we go for of 0 dot content by subject. If I write like this, you will get the data. Not read the properties, reading text content. Is not getting the output. Mm, yeah, fine. For example, I'm going to go for get element by idiom. This is a simple one actually. Idea of. Let me take this at least. Take F12. We'll get uncaught typer cannot read the properties of reading text content. Okay, fine. I will take the inner text. Odd. One. Here it is showing, but here we are not. Console dot log of data. Data is meant for specific anything. Yes. Yeah. Guys, here there is some problem. Let me go for this here. See, you got the output or not? Yes. Guys, so this is the problem I would like to explain actually, but instead of making unintentionally, it is you got the same error. Yeah, guys, why I always recommend you to go for writing script tag, go for writing script tag at the end of the before body tag, before body tag, because because uh, because before complete loading of web page, the script section also is going to execute. Meaning that before the loading of the web page, if I write the script tag in the header section itself, it is going to execute first. It is going to execute first. It is going to execute first. If it is going to execute first, this code get element by id of j. JD doesn't able to find out because it is not loaded at all. It is not loaded at all. It is going to not find anything. That is why it is going to get as some kind of thing like undefined. Now why you got this correct answer? Because after complete loading of this page up to here, then the script tag is executed. Now if it is trying to find out the id which is with the element j, yes, it is exists, then it's going to return the data as some data. What data that I have defined? Yes, header 1. It is getting yes, right? So always it is recommended to go for defining the script tag before the end tag, yes. So I have shown this data, that same thing. So it is with respect to javascript term. With respect to javascript, now the same thing we can able to do with the help of jQuery. Now let me show what dollar of how we are going to select the element with help of selector, right? With help of, for example, an id. With the help of an ID. ID, how we are going to define? J. As J dot. As J dot text. That's it. So I have clearly explained up to here only. Text method is meant for to set or return the contents of selected element. What element I have selected? J element I have selected. I go for execution. Header one is display. Header one is displaying. But what about this one? Is it displayed? No. 1 minute. Yes. So printing all those I will define this stuff later. Instead of that, here else I'm going to press F12. I'm going to copy this thing once again. What happened? The same result you are getting or not? Yes. 1 minute. 1 minute. The same thing I'm going to copy. This is a JavaScript code. This is a C observe. This is a JavaScript code, and this is a jQuery code, and this is JavaScript code. But for both of them, we got the same answer. Here you write how many lines of how much code. Here you write how much code. You can just simply understand. For example, I would like to access with respect to. Okay, now what I will do is I will go for with respect to class name, all those blah blah blah. Dollar of dot k dot dot text. Where is dot k? Class name. I'm sorry. It is the method. Dot header to. We got header to. Or for example, I would like to access with respect to element name. Right? Simply I can go for h3. h3. Like this, we can able to select an element and I can able to perform some kind of action. Yes. Guys, now I will make it these two comment. Make these two comment. Yes. Now, get in my. I'm sorry. Dollar of. I'm going to write hash j dot. For example, I'm going to write as hide. Guys, observe header 1, header 2, header 3 displaying. But if I click on refresh, you will get header 1 is hide because I have called the method hide method. Now, if I call once again the show method, if I refresh, method is show, meaning that here it is hide, here it is showing. For example, or for example, I would like to hide an element with respect to class name dot k dot hide. Refresh, both will be hide. If you want to hide an element with respect to element name, h3 dot hide. All will be hide. Yes, guys. So this way we can able to select an element and I can able to perform various kind of action. For example, what I said I have taken, right? Show I have shown, text I have shown, val, HTML, all this I will show later part. Okay, fine. I will take right now CSS dollar of, for example, I will make it refresh first. Refresh, what will happen? Control yes. Refresh. Header 1, header 2, header 3. Yes. Dollar, for example, I'm trying to select an element with respect to j id dot j dot css. What is the purpose of the css method? The purpose of the css method is meant for to apply styling effects to selected element. In this, it is going to accept two parameters. First parameter is property name. Second parameter is the corresponding value. For example, my first parameter is color. And second parameter is red. Yes. If I refresh, we got the answer or not? Yes. For example, I would like to apply with respect to an element name. For example, for h3 with color called blue, my favorite blue. For h3 display. Yes, right? Yes. Like this, we can able to apply CSS. Yes. Not only like it is not like a single function, it is not like single action. We can able to perform multiple functions, combination of multiple functions. One minute. See what I am saying. I have clearly taken the structure as some selector dollar of selector dot action, right? This action up to now I have taken only single function, but it is actually we can write multiple functions. We call it as jQuery function chain. jQuery function chain, meaning that We can write like dollar of some selector dot some action dot some action dot blah 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 up to where we require. To where we require, we can able to perform that. For example, guys, I will take here itself. I am writing one more cell I would like to apply. CSS of, for example, mm, background color. Background color. I need to make it in double quotations some actually. First parameter should be double quotations, and it is going to accept two parameters. Background color as, so for blue, which one is better? So for example, I'm going to take, uh, okay, fine. Any color is preferable. I will take yellow. Take yellow. Guys, observe. So here for this header 3, I have applied two colors. One is blue color text and background color as yellow. For example, I would like to go for some kind of thing. One more kind of CSS. Like for example, now I can able to perform hide. After performing all the things, I can able to hide. It will be hide. For example, I would like to hide for after some time. Observe, after 5 seconds of time, it is going to perform hiding. So this is a what we call it as effects in jQuery. I will take this later part. Observe, if I am going to take for 10,000 milliseconds, so actually it is going to take the parameters as like slow, fast, as well as in the form of milliseconds. If I pass like 10,000 milliseconds, observe, meaning that after 10 seconds it is going to hide it. It is going to hide it. Or else if you want to like show, you can go for show, meaning that I can able to perform function chaining also here. For example, I would like to go for slide up of 2000. Okay? How it is hiding? In the previous, it is hiding from right to left. Now it is up, sliding, moving. It is going to move. Slide down. Like that, you can go for slide down. So like this, we can go for any kind of process. We can make it any kind of function makes chaining. So that one we call it as function chain. We call it as function chain, meaning that after selecting an element, we can able to combine multiple actions. We can able to combine multiple actions. That one we call it as jQuery function chain. jQuery function chain. Yes. For example, guys, I would like to take something. For example, I'm going to take some kind of another list. Another list. In this, I'm going to take the name as, or else you can just practice all these. For example, I'm going to take some list, CSC. ECE mechanical. CSC ECE mechanical. Yes. So for example, CSC ECE mechanical. For example, I would like to access this element. What I can do? See, if I refresh on the browser, you will get CSC ECE mechanical. All this. So I'm going to make it uncomment this one. Now I will access this another list dollar of UL, in that. So I can go for child selector, right? Li. Which one? I would like to select only first element dot CSS of color, comma, free. Color, comma, again guys, this kind of styling effects we can do in 6 ways. One is with help of hashing code, hexadecimal code, normal text format. All these things we can do. That's right. So what you can expect here for CSC, you will get the color. You get the color. Actually, it is not displaying. You can observe now. For first element, we got the color as a CSC. If you want to go for the last element, so I will take here. CSS. If you want to go for last element, all these things we have seen in the CSS concept itself. That's why I don't want to take right now. Or else, if you want to go for even or odd type, for all the even kind of elements, I would like to get see first one, third one, 0, second, 4, 6, like that we'll get. Or else I will make it copy. For all the even types. For example, I would like to have all the odd types. It is all up to your mark whether in what way you need to get the data. For example, I would like to have the nth child. Nth child function is there, right? Nth child of 2n. To go for 3n. For every third element, you need to get. So third element, sixth element, ninth element, 12th element, like that, you will get colors. All those things we can do. Like this, we can able to select an element and I can apply various kind of actions on that. For example, uh, I would like to have various kind of buttons. For example, input type equal to text, type equal text, name equal to h. Input. I'm going to close that input. Similarly, for example, I can go for see various kind of things you can do. Input type equal to button. I can go for button creation. If you want, I can go for name, all these things. Blah blah blah. Uh, for example, value equal to button. Value equal to button. Like this you can do. Or I can go for something. It's not only everything, Amma. It can be it can be anything. For example, uh, 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 mm, for example, if you want, I can go for defining IDs also. IDs are class names, all this. For example, ID as A. ID as A. Because if I am going to access with respect to tag name, I am going to hide all these things. ID as B. Now what I can do, I can go for access an element, dollar of, what is the element name? Input dot. If I go for hide, guys observe, like this it, 1 minute. Refresh. If I refresh here, you will get a text box, you will get some kind of button. Now, if I make it unhide and if I made it refresh, it is going to hide the data. Yes. Instead of going for all the elements, I can go for accessing with respect to an ID uniquely. Or, for example, I would like to, uh, hide all the buttons. So this concept I have already covered. I would like to hide all the buttons. Then I can go for accessing with respect to button attribute value. That's it. I can go for hide this one. I can refresh. Xbox button. This is button 1 and this is button 2. Button 1, button 2. If I want to hide all the buttons, then I can go for colon button attribute value. If you want to hide an element with respect to attribute value, I can go for this kind of syntax. This is what we have seen in the CSS itself directly. For example, I want to hide all the text fields which are available. Refresh. So see, two text boxes are there. If I want to hide all the text fields, here I can go for writing that text value. All the text fields are hidden. Yes, to hide a submit button, I can go over hiding the text button. Okay, guys? Yes. For example, I would like to hide not only this thing, not only I want to hide everything. I want to hide everything by simply selecting a selector. What is that selector? Star symbol, right? Star symbol is meant for all. What is that star symbol? Yes. Dot hide. It's going to hide all the elements, not only that single element. It's going to hide all the elements. Yes. So this is what we have seen. So performing some actions with respect to an attributes. With respect to an attributes. For example, I'm having an anchor tag. A href equal to like for example https colon double slash www dot, I would like to redirect it to google.com google anchor tag. So by default it is opened which one? Dot rgttsklm dot ac dot. Yes, ac dot in. It is rgttsklm. For example, I'm going to go for target equal to underscore blank. Target underscore blank. If I refresh, here what happened? Google and RGPT scale. Google and RGPT scale. Yes. Now what I will do is I will access a particular thing. And I will try to make it some kind of operation. For example, I would like to access with respect to this attribute. Then what I can do, I can simply use the CSS concept dollar of. I can able to use the href dot CSS of color. Color is some kind of pink color. Meaning that wherever the attribute href is there, for all those things, its color is pink color. Observe, the color will be modified to in the previous it is having blue color, now it is converted to pink color. Or else, if you want to go with a specific thing, for example, dollar of href can be see. For example, is it possible to write here href equals something href as here. Now we can observe the second text, two text fields are there or not. See, already they are hide, right? Hide. Observe, guys. What about for this? See, there is a difference here. You can observe. What I did is so by making a mistake for this also href I made something. I have declared some attribute as href. Whether it is related or not, I don't bother about. I just made it as href. Because of that reason, as I have accessed an attribute, for that also it has applied the color pink color. See, here if I write like something, some data, here if I write like J, it will be converted to the same color. I don't want to have for all the href attributes. The href attributes which are available in the anchor tag, for only I would like to have the color. Then I can go for accessing with respect to dollar of anchor tag of the selected data. What is the selected data? href. Dot CSS of color, comma, array. So in that also, guys, I would like to have all the elements which are having this one, rgktsklm dot ac dot. So for that it will get the red color. So to make it specific also, we can go for that. Okay, guys, I hope you understand it clearly. Yeah. So for example, I would like to point out to specific type. For example, I would like to have point out to all the child elements. See, while explaining the selectors, child selector, descendant selector, ancestors, all these things we have seen, right? Yes. So with the help of that way, we can able to make apply various kind of actions on this element. Yeah, fine. Here, I would like to make it one important point for you. That is, so at the starting of the class, you got some problem. What is that problem? If you write the script tag, if you write the script tag at the end of the before body tag, there is no problem at all. So I make it comment everything. Amma. There is no problem at all. I made it all unselected. There is no problem at all. But sometimes what will happen is, you may write the script tag at somewhere like in the header section or before this part or somewhere at the time. What will happen is, the script code is going to execute first, later body of the page will be executed. That is what I am saying right here. If I write like this script, if I write here something, if I write here something, dollar of h1 h1 dot css of color comma red color comma red color. If I refresh, that styling is not applied here. That styling is not applied here. But if I take that styling, if I take that same styling to here in this section, it will be applied. It will be applied because what happened is, here also I'm going to hide this one, because what will happen is, before loading the body of the document, first this script tag is going to execute it. It's going to execute it. As it doesn't identify any h1 element, it is going to simply neglect that. It is not going to apply these properties. So if you want to specifically, if you want to specifically, if you want to specifically define, I would like to execute my script code, execute my script code, execute my required script code, not the specific execute my required script code after loading of the web page. After loading of web page, then we can go for some particular process. We can go for some particular process. That particular action, that action is available in a method called ready method. Method called ready method. Yes. That's what I will do is, see. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to go for console dot log of. For example, this is line number 42. And I'm going to go for console dot log of last time. I'm simply saying that this is F12. So here also will get the last line number 42 and last line. We'll get the answers. Yes. Now what I'm going to do is, I would like to have a code. I would like to have a code. That code is like this one. This one. Color of h1 dot css color comma red. If I refresh it, automatically we will get the data header one. Or else, for example, I will write console dot log of ready function. Ready function. Right. Ready function code. Yes. Fine, guys. So in which order it is executing? Line number 42, ready function code, then last line. Now what I will do is, I would like to execute this line. I would like to execute this line after completion of the loading of the web page. After completion of the loading of the web page, or else I will simply copy this entire thing. You are getting the same some kind of doubts, right? Script tag. I'm going to copy this one. Copy this one. So here, so guys, make it clear, ma. Dollar of h1 dot css of color comma red color comma red color. So that header one is not applying the colors. So finally I will make it clear for you. So meaning that it will be applied after I explain this concept. Yes. So for that what I will do is I'm sorry. So with the help of that ready function I will make it clear. So this is ready function. Ready function. Now we'll get the outputs. Line number 42 ready function last time. Fine guys. So my requirement is I would like to execute this line, this ready function line after completion of the loading of the web page. After completion of the loading of the web page. For that, what we require is we need to make use of first. I would like to refer my document. So how we are going to refer the document? So dollar symbol document. So I would like to refer my document. In that, I have to use a function called ready function. That is a function called ready function. So when it is going to execute, so this is another one actually. This is another concept. So ready function is going to execute it as soon as the document is ready. As soon as the complete document is ready, the ready function is going to execute it. As soon as the complete document is ready, the ready function is going to be executed. Ready function. So this function is going to accept the undefined parameter function, undefined function. So I hope this syntax you already know in JavaScript, right? So this is an unnamed function or undefined function. Yeah. Fine. Here now what I can write is Control X. With this statement, you can able to understand clearly. Guys, observe line number 42, last line and ready function. What does it mean? Line number 9 executed, line number 14 executed. Later, entire body of the page is loaded. Then ready function is executed. That is line number 12. Line number 9, line number 14, then line number 12. It means that after loading of the entire document, then only the corresponding function is executed. Then the corresponding function is executed. Now what I will do is I will simply remove this one, or else I'll simply comment this one. I am going to make it test. Now what will happen is guys, so line number 9 executed, line number 11 is executed. No, it will be executed after completion of the loading of the body of the document. Then line number 11 is executed. So before that, line number 9, line number 15 is executed, then body of the document. Then if the document is ready, then it is going to execute the line number line. Then it will check for the H1. Yes. Now H1 is available. When H1 is available, it is going to apply that color. I'm going to refresh that. Observe guys. Yes. Is it applied the color or not? Yes. So that is a problem if we write the script tag of the code in the header section. If you write that in the body section before the end tag, there is no problem at all. But it's always recommended to use the ready function, the ready method, wherever you write the script tag. Wherever you write the script tag. Yes. Nice. Okay. Fine. So what does it mean, ma? It is going to refer to the current document. In that, the ready function is going to execute it whenever the complete document of the document is ready. Then it is going to execute it. So this function is compulsory, ma. By default, you have to write some function. Yes. Okay. In that, I can able to perform. I can able to manipulate any kind of operation. For example, I can able to perform like this, the same thing. For completion of the loading of the document, I can able to perform anything. I'm going to refresh. Like this, you can able to perform. Yes, guys. So I hope you understood it clearly. So if you have any doubts, you can ask in the classroom. So this is for today's class. Thank you.